What's up YouTube? Houston here. And for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, as always, salute. And for my favorite patrons, double salute. Now, today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get business credit cards for your LLC with bad credit. Because there's a lot of people out there, even though our company focus on a different structure that's not a pass-through, there's a lot of people out there that have LLCs and stuff that haven't did nothing with them because they have bad credit. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the easiest credit cards that you can actually get to help you start building up your bad credit. Excuse me, help you start building up your credit for your LLC. Now, some of the things that you may be trying to use the money for, you may be trying to get into real estate, or you may be trying to get into cryptocurrency, or you may even be trying to car sharing. But this here video is going to help you. Now, here's the thing about it. Like I said, these are going to be some of the easiest cards. All right. And please understand, all of these cards are not secured cards. Okay. So just bear with me because it's some strategies I have to explain to you to help you. Now, the first card we're talking about is the Wells Fargo Secured Card. Okay. Now, a new business, a startup, or existing business can get this card. And they pull FICO 9. All right. Now, they do not report to Dun Bradstreet. However, they Wells Fargo's business credit reporting system reports to Small Business Financial Exchange. Then Dun Bradstreet pulls that data from there. Okay, so granted that you may think, well, they don't even report. Actually, they do, but it's not to Dun & Bradstreet. And Small Business Financial Exchange is more important than Dun & Bradstreet, so that you know. All right. Now you have BBVA Secured Business Credit Card. Okay. So what happened is PNC Bank merged with BBVA, right? But their credit cards are still out in the market. Now, PNC Bank, they report to Small Business Financial Exchange, all right? So since they report to Small Business Financial Exchange, now this is going to be a product of PNC's bank, all right? And so more likely as they continue merging over, more likely you would have an opportunity, even with this secure card, to start building business credit. Okay. If for some of you all that already have the BBVA secured business card, you may want to call them and ask them. Or if you're already a member of PNC Bank, no, PNC, they don't have a business secured card, but now with this merger, now they do. Okay, so you can ask them. You don't have to worry about a DUNS number or a tax ID number. Their deposit is starting at $500. Okay. Now you have First National Bank. First National Bank Business Edition Secured Visa Card. Now they charge an annual fee of $39. All right, but their limits go from $2,000 up to $100,000. It's not $100. Excuse me, it's $100,000. All right, but your deposit actually earns interest, and they pull FICO 9. Now, the reason that I like them in terms of they do not report to the major business credit bureaus, but the reason I like them is because, and I made a video, so if you want to see the full detailed video of First National Bank, put a comment below, and I'll send you over that video. But here's the thing about it, is they are really helping people get funding, all right? And it's a soft pull. So that's one of the good things about it. Like with their regular business credit cards, you can probably get that on a pre-qualified pre-approval, all right? But if you have bad credit, again, that's what this video is about, and you have an LLC and you're trying to build up the business credit, this is the way you want to go. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you that's a very good insight for most people that have LLCs, that they do not know how to build up business credit even if they have bad credit. These here are the banks, the major banks. that report to the business credit bureaus. You have American Express. American Express reports to Small Business Financial Exchange. They do not report to Dun and Bradstreet. Dun and Bradstreet pulls that information over. Okay. Now Chase reports to Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun and Bradstreet, and Equifax. Capital One, Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange. Citibank, Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Small Business Financial Exchange. Okay, so for those of you that may have a Bank of America account and you applied for a business credit card and they said, well, there's nothing on your on your they may say, well, there's nothing on your Dun and Bradstreet file. Okay. The thing about it, if you a new business, there's not going to be anything there. But I got you covered there as well. So stick with me because I'm going to help you out. Now, U.S. Bank reports to Dun and Bradstreet and Small Business Financial Exchange. PNC SunCrest Small Business Financial Exchange. That's what I was talking to you about. That secured BBVA Compass Business Secured Card. Now, here's the thing that you want to do. If you have an LLC, and I know some of you guys may have started trying to with net 30s and things like that, right? To build up your business credit score, your DUNS number and stuff like that. One of the things that I continue to tell people, 90% of the banks, they do not rely on Dun and Bradstreet. They're pulling your Equifax, your Small Business Financial Exchange, or they're pulling your Experian credit file, okay? So that's the reason I tell you guys, and again, from my experience of being in business as long as I have, knowing that, hey, I'm not dismissing Dun and Bradstreet is not relevant. Okay, I'm not saying that they're not relevant. However, when you're trying to get funding, like most people, they have these LLCs, they're trying to get funding so they can do their other investments and stuff. But again, by them having bad credit, they don't know how to build up the business credit file except for buying a bunch of net 30s. And I keep telling people, don't invest into a bunch of net 30s because I don't care. You can start with the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. I don't care. At the end of the day, if you don't have an established relationship with the banks, you're still going to have a hard time getting funding. Not saying it's impossible, but it's definitely going to be hard for you to get funding. So I hope you understand that. Now, in terms of the net 30s, that I would suggest that if you are an LLC or starting an LLC and you're trying to build up the business credit so you can get business funding, I would actually use these companies here because I know that these companies are more accurate with their reporting. One of the things, again, that people are having issues with, like if they buy from Granger, seeing the U line, it's the one and done. And then they're like, well, how come they're not reporting? Well, what's happening, a lot of net 30 companies, you have to buy from them 2 and 3 times now. Okay, it's no more one and done. It used to be like that, but they caught on to it and they're like, no, you in order to build a relationship with us, you have to purchase from us 2 and 3 times. Now, some of these companies out here, they charge you a annual fee as well. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. So their annual fees may go anywhere from $79 to $99, but at least now you're aware of why you may have net 30s that are not showing up. Because I continue to tell you guys, when you're dealing with net 30s, it can be 45, 60 days before you actually see that trade line. All right. So that's the reason I tell people, if I'm going to be building business credit up for the sole purpose of getting funding, I would rather choose a minimum of or maximum of maybe about 4 trade lines. Okay, but the majority of the capital that I have, I would actually be making weekly deposits into the business bank account because that will build up your business credit rating much faster. That would do it much faster than you using all of these net 30s, because at the end of the day, most people have went through the tier 1 and tier 2, and they find out even when they get to the tier 2, well, because my credit bad, they won't give me a credit card. You know, they may get a gas card. Some may, sometimes because they may not have the right information on your business credit file for like a Staples and stuff, you still may get denied, even though you don't went through the tier 1 process. So it is possible for you to still get denied because you don't have certain information, and they will pull your credit. So those are the things you really have to understand. So by following this here roadmap, you should have more success. Okay. Now back to what I'm saying about using net 30s. You have this company Shirtsy. They report to Equifax, Credit Safe, Small Business Financial Exchange, and Sonia, National Association of Credit Management. Okay, but you have to be in business at least 90 days. Now, if you don't want to deal with them, you have a Summa Office Supplies. They report to Experian and Equifax, and they actually give you a letter of reference to help report. One of the things about it that most people end up having trouble is with their trade lines. If you don't have a Dun Bradstreet credit builder system, then sometimes they will hesitate to actually report it on your file too. Trust me, I've been there. Okay, I've known this game a long time. I study it. All right, but nonetheless, it is possible for you to continue building a business credit even without Dun and Bradstreet so that you can get funding. Okay. Now, Quill. Why do I have Quill on here instead of Dun and instead of Granger, Seaton, and Uline? Is because with Quill, they actually have a financial mechanism in them. So if you need to bootstrap your business or whatever, they actually have a financial mechanism in it to help you do that, but you can't abuse it. So that's the reason I don't tell it out on camera, because once people know that it's out there, they'll abuse it. So that's the reason I have to be very careful. If you have any questions about building a business credit, then check out the link below in the comments to three-way funding or houstonmcmillan.net. Okay, now you also have Wise Business Plan. At Wise Business Plan, you do not have to get a business plan from them in order to report. They have other business credit products and stuff that report as well. And so they report to Equifax, Experian, and Dun and Bradstreet. Then you have NAV. With NAV, you have to get their business loan builder or their business boost. All right, either one of those. So I put a link below so you can actually get their products. The one reason that you want NAV, and most people don't understand is because NAV would allow you not only to see what's going on your business credit file, but they also give you access to your Experian personal credit report as well. All right, so that's the reason that NAV is so helpful. All right. Now, like I said, in case some of you guys missed it, the fastest way to build up the business credit, using those financial institutions, but making those weekly deposits. Making those weekly deposits. I don't care if you're recycling money, because I have clients that did exactly that, and they was able to get other um, lines of credit as well. Now, here's a company that's really making it easier. DIVVY. Okay. So if you are LLC, you're generating revenue, and you have bad credit, then you want to definitely check out DIVVY. DIVVY do a soft pull on your Experian 9, but they report to Small Business Financial Exchange. They report to Dun and Bradstreet. So you can be a new LLC or a new business or an existing business. Okay. So one thing about it, DIVVY is like a charge card. So whatever you use, you have to have it paid off in the next 30 days. Now, they have two programs also. With DIVVY, they have a line of credit. So if you approve for that, then that line of credit, you'll get access to that line of credit, right? But if your credit is not strong enough, they have a credit builder program. And basically, it's like you put money into a DIVVY account, and you use that money and they'll still report it. So you just want the trade line to help build up your credit. Now, if I'm explaining this and making you feel comfortable enough to understand why to follow this pattern to build up business credit so that you can get larger dollar amounts. This is the easiest way. I tell you another thing a lot of people make the mistake of when trying to build business credit. They would try to go after business loans, okay, especially from the banks. Do not go to the banks for a business loan, okay? It's too much red tape for them. All right, so that's the reason you don't want to deal with the banks. Now, if you're generating revenue in the business, then there's other companies out there. Unfortunately, the interest rates is higher, but if you have bad credit, they're focusing more on the business, okay? So you just keep that in mind. Now, it's a MasterCard that they have, as well as, excuse me, as a MasterCard, and they don't charge any annual fees on it, all right? And they have a rewards program for DIVVY. Now, Capital One Tap, excuse me. Capital One Tap is very interesting because they say that you have to be making at least $30,000 a year. So that's basically $2,500 a month, right? Now, again, like I mentioned, I have a client. He had his company. We set up his company. He had the company less than 6 months, and they gave him $20,000, right? But he followed the steps that we actually told him to. And granted, he didn't have an LLC, but you can do it with an LLC, okay? Now, understanding that, again, they pull FICO 9. So they do a soft pull on FICO 9. Now, unfortunately, if you're a sole proprietor, you have to either become a pass-through company like a LLC or S corporation, or become an Inc. All right. And again, if you having trouble understanding how to properly set your business up, then click the link below and set up a one-on-one consultation with three-way funding. Now, here's the interesting thing I would tell you guys. Another reason some people have challenges getting funding is because they're operating a business that's registered in another state. So what that means, say that you stay in New York, but your business is registered in Delaware. What a lot of attorneys will not tell you, they'll file the paperwork for you, so they can make the money. But they don't tell you that if you're not actually doing business in that state for at least 6 months and filing taxes, you actually don't have no protection. So that's the reason I tell people you have to be very careful. So it's always best to do business in the state that you actually reside in, especially like during this pandemic and stuff, because if you reside in New York, all of the pandemic money, then those businesses that are registered in that state, they get access to that money. But if you are registered in another state, they will bypass you unless you're a foreign entity actually registered in that state as well. But if you're just operating as an LLC in Delaware, Wyoming, Nevada, somewhere, again, you don't have no protection. You don't have no rights to that capital. So that's the reason I tell you guys, always set up your corporation in the state that you stay in, all right? Now, here's an interesting, I found this bank, and the interesting thing about it is that they have a platinum credit card, right? And they're saying their scores go anywhere from 300 up to 719 credit scores. But the platinum credit card, no interest for 20 months. No interest for 20 months on their platinum credit card. You have to open up an account with them. I don't know if they I don't know if they would take foreign companies. I don't know, meaning that out of state companies, because this bank is in California. Okay, but I'm definitely wanting to know, hey, what's up with this? Because if you can have a credit score low as 300 and still get a business credit card with them that's unsecured, that's the thing that's blowing my mind. They're saying with a 300 credit score, you still can get a business credit card. So that means that you must be bringing in some good business revenue to where they're not actually tripping on the credit score. They're focused on the revenue of the business. All right. But for if any of you all ever use this financial institution, put a comment below. Let me know what you think. Is this true what they're saying about this bank? Because this is what the bank is stating. I don't know how factual it is or the actual credit score, but they said starting at a 300. So that's very interesting, okay? And for a platinum card with no payments for 20 months, no interest, if you're doing a balance transfer, there's no interest for 20 months. Now, more likely they do pull FICO 8, okay? Now, here's an easier one to get if you're trying to build your business credit with an unsecured card. And this is your Capital One Spark Classic business card. Okay. And you start with a 580 credit score. Again, they use FICO 8. So that's very important for you guys to know. With FICO 8, most banks like Bank of America, Capital One, Chase, and stuff, they use it because of their new business card uh, mechanism in it or whatever. But that's what they use. So if you're gonna do a credit card with Capital One, best believe it's going to be your FICO 8. Now, the good thing about it is because it reports to Dun and Bradstreet Experience Small Business Financial Exchange. So that will open up the gates for other business credit cards as well. Okay. Now, Chase. Chase has so many business credit cards, but I always tell people if you're going to go to Chase, you want to go with the Inc. business credit cards. As a matter of fact, you probably want to go with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. That'll probably be the easiest one. But again, the credit score with them has to be a 660. All right. The reason that I put them here is because understanding that with the major banks, it's best to build a relationship. So that means because they can use also internal scoring to help you qualify for credit cards as well. So in terms of that, meaning that if you have a personal account with them, a business account, and you're making regular deposits and stuff like that, sometimes they may be flexible enough to where they still give you a business credit card. What I would do, I would probably contact the reconsideration line. And I always tell people that when you're applying for a business credit card from the traditional banks, if they got a branch, go inside. If you can't get on the inside, make sure that you give them a call on the phone and let them walk you through the application process. So that way, if you get denied, at least you can have the person you're on the phone with call the recon line with you on the phone to try to see if they can help you get approved. All right. Now, if you have any questions about building business credit for your LLC or your corporation, you need to reach out to me. Put a comment below, or better yet, click the link below and check out HoustonMcMiller.net to schedule a consultation or three-way funding. Thank you.